Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all so much for being here today. We're going to get it started with this webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about the tools for scaling your solo practice or small business. My name is JR. I'm with the Manufacturer Success Department here at LandFX. Just some quick housekeeping rules. Down at the bottom, you'll see a few buttons. You'll have the Q&A button. You'll have the chat button. Q&A button is a great place if you want to ask me any questions or ask us any questions. Chat's a great place for any type of banter or if you want to chat amongst yourselves. If you're looking to exit or exit full screen, if you hit the escape button or if you press exit full screen toward the top, that will go ahead and minimize things. So I would like to go ahead and get started. First of all, I'm thrilled to have you all here for today's webinar, whether you're a seasonal professional or just starting your journey in landscape architecture and or irrigation design. I promise you're in for an engaging and informative session. So let's dive in to what brought us all together today. So we're going to talk about empowering sole practitioners and small business with the right tools and strategies. These tools do extend beyond landscape architects and are really a great opportunity for anyone looking to scale their business. We'll be exploring a range of topics from leveraging technology and project management solutions to financial management and scaling up your practice. So once again, my name is JR, and I just recently transitioned from the client success department over to manufacturer success. Here is my contact information. If you would like to get a hold of me, you're always welcome to reach out and we'd be happy to chat with you. And I'll have this up at the end for you as well. Quick outline of today's presentation. We're going to go over a quick overview of technology in business. We're going to talk about the tools of the trade. We're going to go over some project management solutions, digital collaboration and communication tools, financial management tools, client relationship management, also known as CRM tools. We're going to talk about legal contract solutions and document management, and then HR, the hidden enemy, scaling up and managing people as you scale up your business. We'll talk a little bit about social media marketing, online presence, and then at the end, we'll have a chance for some Q&A. So as we kick off, let's just acknowledge the transformative power of technology in our industry, from enhancing efficiency to redefining client interactions. Staying ahead in the digital landscape is no longer really a choice, but it's actually a necessity. So I thought I'd share this little quote from Jeremiah and start us off. As technology matures, you get to change how you do things for the better. That is from our very own Jeremiah Farmer, CEO of LandFX. So first, let's go through time and see how quickly technology has changed. You may recognize a few of these things, from pen and paper to rotary phones, the fax machine, Rolodex, crowd favorite, typewriter, those awesome Nokia phones with Snake on them, a drafting table, which many of you may still have or recognize, computers, and hand-drawn sketches, which still have a lot of power, and we still see them today. They're amazing. But as technology has kind of moved on, we now have AutoCAD, FXCAD, the cell phone, email, artificial intelligence, the computer or laptop, internet, and also video conferencing. So as you embark on the journey of running and growing your business, having the right set of tools is absolutely crucial for success. These tools are basically, if you think of them as the backbone of your operations, supporting everything from project management to financial tracking and client relations. So tools of the trade. Now let's get more specific. Basically, what are essential tools every landscape architect and business owner should have in their arsenal? It starts with hardware like computers and laptops to mobile devices and peripherals such as your mice, keyboards, what webcams you're using, external drives, and even your networking equipment or your landline phone if you still have those. If you do, we're going to talk a little bit more about how to get rid of them shortly. Then there's software. So software plays that crucial role in our industry. For example, design software like AutoCAD, FXCAD, LandFX, or 3D modeling tools like SketchUp and Lumion, or even use of like drone technology for site analysis. Software can include your operating system, product suites, accounting software, project management platforms, communication tools, collaboration software, including shared online folders. The important part is that while you're building the foundation of your business, even as a solo practice, you're choosing the tools that are adaptable to your business's evolving needs so that you can be scalable as you move forward in growing your business. Regularly assessing your hardware is also important, and assessing your software as well, basically to ensure that the tools you have align with your business requirements. So I want to move on to more of the fun stuff. Before I do, just a quick LandFX pro tip. We do have our hardware recommendations on our LandFX page. If you go to landfx.com, hover over, I believe it's resources or support, and you'll find hardware recommendations right there. There are hundreds of tools that can be shared, and I'm only going to be scraping the surface today, talking about some of the LandFX favorites that we've used as we have personally scaled our business. So efficiency in project management is also a backbone of just a successful practice. So exploring these project management tools, which are designed to streamline tasks, create those realistic timelines, and optimize your resource allocation. Efficient project delivery not only satisfies clients, but also positions your business for growth. Freedcamp. It's a super powerful tool that's really just going to redefine your approach to project management. It's a LandFX favorite. It's all in one platform designed with solo practitioners and small businesses in mind, offering just a comprehensive suite of project management tools. Features like task tracking, milestone setting, resource management. Freedcamp just empowers you to take control of the projects with ease and as you see fit. They do offer multiple plans like free and premium plans. So again, honing in on being a great tool for solo practitioners or small business or even a medium to large company. Freecamp offers a user-friendly interface and just a robust set of features that cater to the unique needs of landscape architects. Here's how incorporating the Freecamp tool can transform your project management experience. There's task tracking organization. Freecamp provides an intuitive task management system. It allows you to break down your projects into manageable tasks. We use it here at LandFX for everything we do. There's not a single thing that we do and move forward with without using LandFX. You can effortlessly assign tasks to team members and then set due dates to ensure that everyone is on the same page. With that setting, you can set milestones. So you can define a project milestone to create a roadmap of your projects and then monitor the progress and celebrate the achievements as you reach each milestone, just making sure that you keep both your teams and your clients informed. Resource management is really big, especially when you're talking about resources as a small company and how you're going to allocate those resources. Tracking them here and allocating them with Freedcamp's resource management tools ensure that your team's skills and expertise are optimally utilized throughout the project lifecycle. Seamless collaboration. This is why we love Freedcamp. All of us that are part of each task or project are able to just foster that real-time collaboration with the team members. And then whether they're in office or remote, like we are, Freedcamp really just gives those tools to be able to share your project updates, files, and then communicate effortlessly within the Freedcamp platform. And it's customized to fit your workflow. And the best part about it is that it is accessible anytime, anywhere, whether you're on a computer, a tablet, or even your cell phone. Here are just a couple of views of what Freecamp looks like. This is I'm going to go back one. Sorry about that. This is the tab view. So you can see these are different projects that we have that I'm personally a part of. If I'm not a part of a project, I wouldn't see it. So it's great to be able to allocate to each team member and then make sure that you have the right hands in the task. This goes into more specifically what that task looks like. And then a calendar view, which is great as you're managing your project. So you can see what project due dates are coming up. And so you're not like me and procrastinating till last minute doing a webinar presentation. The calendar would have come really handy. And then more specifically into my specific task. So you can see this is for today's webinar. It gives me the date that it's due, who is created by, who is assigned to, the priority, and then whether it's in progress, completed, or has not been started. and it does allow you to attach files and manage the conversation all internally within FreedCamp. So this is a little lengthy. I'll go through it real quick. I did talk to Crystal Bozarth, our COO of LandFX, and my question to her was, what prompted us to choose FreedCamp as our project management solution? So she says, when looking for project management software, it was just really important to find something simple and customizable. FreedCamp doesn't have as many bells and whistles as some of the other project management softwares do have. However, Crystal likes that because she finds that those bells and whistles can sometimes be distracting from the actual project itself. Another great thing about FreedCamp was that because projects are never cut and dry or go exactly how planned or how we plan them, other software was very deadline driven and didn't allow for incidentals, such as what if an employee needs to take their daughter to the doctors, or if there's a complication with getting approvals or whatever it may be. Just being allowed to, or being able to allow for updates and critical thinking and problem solving was what our team here at LandFX needed. Now there are other great solutions, Trello, Monday.com. We'll talk about Monday.com quite a bit here because it's actually a really great tool for sole practitioners and small businesses because they offer a wide variety of tools within their product. And then Basecamp. Basecamp is very similar to FreedCamp. It's one of my passions is real estate, and on the side, I do sit on a high performing. Sorry about that. I do sit on a high performing team that uses Basecamp, and we just found that Basecamp's flat rate pricing was just more structured, and it worked great for what we needed. Basecamp's customization is not anywhere near what FreedCamp offers. However, this is a great example of exploring software that fits your needs. What worked great for my real estate team didn't work great for LandFX here. We needed just something a little bit more robust. We require more customization, and like we heard from Crystal, it offers the adaptability features that we need as a business. Here are just a few things that all of these handle: visual project management, customizable workflows, collaboration, third party. We'll see a lot of these terms kind of throughout the presentation today. So as landscape architects, designers, consultants, and irrigation consultants, collaboration is key for us. The next set of tools are collaborative platforms that emphasize more on just the importance of cloud-based storage solutions. These tools that I'm about to show you do facilitate real-time collaboration on design projects and ensure seamless communication with clients, team members, and then also stakeholders. Slack and Zoom, both of these are LandFX favorites. Slack offers visual project management, customizable workflows, collaboration and communications, third-party integrations, such as polls, Giphies, just really makes the whole process fun. And for remote or in office, it gives just a better communication tool. There's automation inefficiency with their chatbot AI, reduction of misunderstandings because everything's recorded, everything's right there in front of you, and it doesn't get erased unless you erase it, though it's never truly erased. And then just channel organization. There are channels such as our ASLA channel, our Autodesk University, something for client success and tech support, or FX Parents and FX Pets, just a more fun place for our employees to get together and talk about something, other than work sometimes. Within the Slack software, there is collaboration. So here, Jake and I are doing a presentation, more of a huddle, rather, is what they like to call it. And Jake was showing me a few things, and we were able to do that in real time. With Zoom, big thing is ease of use, high quality video and audio for not only video conferencing and webinars like we're using it today, but also for primary phone use. Voice over IP is the present, it's the future. Going back to that whole conversation with landline, if you still have a landline, you're limiting yourself to capabilities, and having that voice over IP just makes you more connected wherever you are. Collaboration features, again, webinars, Zoom meetings, we utilize those quite a bit, and then just simple phone calls and IVR. So if somebody calls in, they can get a wonderful recording like you hear when you call into LandFX. That is through Zoom using the Zoom's automated messaging system. Security and privacy, everything can be recorded. It is either secure on the cloud server, or if you're not too fond of storing on Zoom Cloud, you can store it directly to your computer. Scalability. Zoom is great for a single person that has their phone service. And as you grow, Zoom grows with you. You can add a new number for every employee. What we do here at LandFX, we don't have extra numbers sitting around. We add them as we hire employees. Recording and transcription, talked about that a little bit. Every webinar that we do is recorded. There's transcription utilizing either an AI interface or now AI Companion, which is a new feature that Zoom has enabled for meetings, not quite for webinars. And then cloud-based storage. And then here are just a few things. This is what a primary page looks like. You can see there are multiple tools there, whether I want to do a new meeting, schedule a meeting, or utilize my phone or chat. And it's great for hosting Halloween parties at LandFX. It's really used for so much. We really enjoy Zoom. And like I said, we use it not only for just video conferencing and webinars, but we also use it as our primary voice over IP phone service. So, few other digital collaboration options are Microsoft Teams. There's also Microsoft Teams, double duty there, and then Google Workspace. Google Workspace is a LandFX favorite. We do use Google for everything from our email. You can customize your domain, and your domain can be jr@landfx.com. We utilize Calendar for everything. Google Drive is where we store and manage all of our documents, which I'll get more into that a little bit later with document management. And then you can utilize, if you're looking for an all-in-one software for collaboration, you can utilize meetings and that type of thing with either Microsoft Teams or Google Workspace. Again, cloud-based storage for email documents and general file storage. We utilize it for all three of those. Great for integrating communications, video conferencing, and real-time messaging. And this is the really big one that I like to drive home. Collaborating, allowing you to edit, allowing multiple users to edit documents in real time. We utilize Google Docs and Google Sheets a lot here because the simplicity of multiple of us being able to be in the same file really just makes sure that there's no lag in any type of project. And then accessibility and compatibility, once again, cross-platform. It's great for phones, computers, tablets, whether you're on iOS, whether you're on Android OS, or shoot, I mean, anything really, Windows. So I want to talk a little bit more and shift gears to the financial heartbeat of your practice. Invoicing, expense tracking, and budgeting become seamless with tools like QuickBooks and Xero, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. Having transparent financial management is absolutely vital for solo practitioners and small businesses. Aiding in cash flow management, again, making sure that your resources are allocated because they may not be what a large business is, right? And then also informed decision making. So QuickBooks is the main one I'm going to talk about today. Again, this is a LandFX favorite. I don't know if you can tell, I really chose everything that LandFX uses because it's their tools that I know, and I know that they work. I mean, no tool goes without its little, they have their misses and heartbeats, but still just the reliability, user friendliness of QuickBooks, whether you know accounting and that's your background before going into landscape architecture, irrigation design. It's great for anybody, even if you've got limited accounting knowledge. It's cross-platform. That's another big takeaway from today is that a lot of these tools are cross-platform. I can view QuickBooks on my phone, I can view it on the computer, or I can view it on my tablet. Financial tracking. Easily transition from solo practice to small business. So again, like Zoom, you can use this with just you, and you can manage all your invoices, you can manage your expenses. As you grow, you can go in and start utilizing it for payroll. You can utilize it for invoicing and payments. If you want to invoice your clients, you can do it directly through QuickBooks. You can accept credit cards if you want to directly through there, giving them just more options to get you more money. And then expense management, which I kind of talked about a little bit. Tax preparation is huge. All of these things, giving the report. Most of you are familiar with QuickBooks, but getting reports so you can get it in front of your tax accountant. Again, just managing your time more efficiently. And then cloud-based. So being able to be on multiple platforms, all of that information through QuickBooks Online is cloud-based. There is the option of an installed version, though that option may not be the best. What happens if your computer crashes? There goes all of your financial information. Accountant access, which is really super cool. You can give your accountant access so that they can see if you do quarterly reporting, they can pull it right away. It just saves more time. You're putting the task into people's hands that are actually getting paid to do that so that you can focus on client retention and management of those relationships. And then here's just a little view, again, cross-platform, whether you're on a tablet or really anything. More financial management options. Xero is another great option. It is strictly cloud-based. They do not have an installed version. It is available on any device with an internet connection. Real-time collaboration, so between you and accountant or your accounting team. Ease of use. Bank reconciliation. That one is also in QuickBooks as well. Invoice and billing. So you can see a lot of these are very familiar with one another. And then if you're looking for just expense management only, there is Expensify and Zoho Expense. Those are great to just be able to manage those expenses as you have them come up. So building and maintaining client relationships is kind of where I tend to shine in things. CRM systems like HubSpot and Salesforce offer those customized solutions for tracking leads, managing client interactions, and then preserving project history. These tools not only streamline the communication, but they also play a crucial role in securing repeat business. Making mention of Monday.com again, another feature they have is their software offering of CRM tools. The topic of client relationship management or CRM, like I said, is very near and dear to my heart because I found that not only does it matter, it just basically doesn't matter what line of work you're in, whether you're in the design world like most of us, in the real estate world like myself, or any other industry vertical, having an effective CRM is absolutely vital to our success. Using the right CRM tools can transform how you engage with your clients. The tools that I'm about to show you streamline client interactions, they enhance communication, and then elevate your solo practice and small business. The CRM space, again, is super large. So I'm only barely scratching the surface with some of these CRM tools. You may find one that works for you, or as we found here at LandFX, building our own CRM into our admin system was what was best for us. Though I know Jer may not feel like it's the right way. There's always that growth. Are we sure we're still wanting to do this? It's so effective, and we've been able to build it to be specific for us. And a lot of these tools do have those integrations with APIs that allow you to do the same thing. While HubSpot, Salesforce, Zoho are all similar, they each have their own features in which they excel. All three provide efficient client data management, improved communication internally, enhanced client management and engagement, and then also, again, that API ability, which allows the creation of a bridge between multiple softwares or tools to be connected to any one of these. HubSpot and Monday.com do provide all-in-one solutions, while Zoho CRM, sorry, I'm just going to get through these real quick. While Zoho CRM provides enhanced automation capabilities, lead scoring. Lead scoring is one of those things. It's more for a really heavily sales dominant business. However, you can use that lead scoring to help write your project bidding as you see fit and prioritizing those bids. And then it also has AI driven insight. And then with a proper CRM in place, you can explore other integrations like MailChimp, having targeted, email campaigns like we do. The newsletters that you get are all done through MailChimp. And then you can even do like Asana, which connects your CRM to Asana's project management tools to enhance collaboration, and then project visibility, seamlessly connecting client information to ongoing projects. LMN is one that I just learned of today. So I'm actually going to tag Jer in to kind of talk a little bit more about LMN because it is an industry favorite for the landscape architecture industry.
Yeah, which it's just, it's specifically for landscape contractors. So it's very interesting to have control of all of your financials, your invoicing, and all of that, with all of the necessary materials already entered. If you're going to be using, say, QuickBooks for your landscape contractor business, you're going to be entering in a lot of the materials yourself. Whereas LMN, they already have, pipe and header board and mulch and, all those, the standard things in there, and this assumption that it's being used in a landscape construction environment. So very interesting to consider if you happen to be a landscape contractor. And then actually, along those lines, one of the attendees, Teague, chimed in and mentioned they use a Streamtime for their project management. And I was looking into Streamtime, and it was kind of interesting where they all, as a project management software, offer a lot of the financial hooks, like handling the invoicing and all of that. And so, very interesting that, of all of these different options, that is a very tricky part, is to see, well, do I want, one option that does literally everything, which is, intriguing. It's going to be difficult, but you'll find these ones that offer, payroll as well as CRM. It's like, do I want to use the same, engine for both? And if it does work, that's something to absolutely consider. And so, this is the realm that we are in these days, right? Is just a sea of all these different services, and just finding the one that is going to work for you. And when you do find one, we're about to get to, the HR tools, but they will have additional services. So you may start with something that's just simply a CRM, but then, like I said, then they also offer payroll, and you're like, yeah, maybe I should go ahead and up to that tier to also use that service as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And to that point, like you may find one solution that works for you, or we could be like here at Land Effects, we haven't found one solution that works for us, but a collaboration of solutions that we have, integrated seamlessly together, like our our CRM working with QuickBooks so that we can grab all of our clients' data and what licenses they have and then force it over to QuickBooks for invoicing. So that whole process of automation, it takes so much less time for our accounting team to go in and send those invoices because it's now been built with an API. It's all been bridged together so that it just seamlessly works together and sends out those invoices automatically. Kind of diving into the next set of tools, we'll talk more about securing your success with legal contracts and document management. Legalities are the backbone of our profession. Digital contract signatures through tools like Adobe Sign or DocuSign, along with efficient document storage solutions, minimize those legal risks and then just ensure compliance. Proper documentation is not just good practice, it's a shield for your business. So these tools and strategies just ensure that your contracts are rock solid and that your documents are efficiently organized, minimizing the risk and maximizing productivity. Utilizing platforms like Adobe Sign and DocuSign, and now even Freedcamp to facilitate digital contract signatures, you can expedite the signing process, reduce paperwork, and then enhance the overall efficiency of your contract management. You have a centralized document storage, implementing document management solutions like I'll get here in a second, but SharePoint, OneDrive, Google Drive, Ignite, having those all in one place just makes it so you can easily access your contracts and project documents, any type of legal paperwork without the hassle of like digging through physical files. Those file cabinets are only so big, and at some point they're like putting a bunch of shortcuts on your desktop. They become unusable. Having everything managed through a shared online folder or through using DocuSign where you can download those PDFs and immediately put them in the correct folder is just absolutely vital. Automated reminders and notifications, setting up those reminders so that you can, if there's any type of contract renewal, you can go in and send that out. You'll never really miss a deadline. And then you can collaborate securely with your clients, legal teams, and any stakeholders on legal documents. And all of these do meet local regulations, DocuSign and Adobe Sign, because they are both global. Having those solutions are going to be great for no matter where you are, whether you're here in the States, Canada, anywhere else in the world, you can utilize these because they do have those offices where they basically pay attention to that type of stuff. Creating and maintaining shared online folders like Dropbox, SharePoint, Google Drive, crowd favorite over here at LandFX, um, or even Ignite is key to organizing your business from point of conception all the way through your growth. Here's just a little, I'm going to click through these so you can kind of see a little bit of a this or that. So shared online folders are something that we really believe in here at LandFX. They're accessible and they're mobile. Physical servers may require a direct connection. I once had a client tell me that connecting through VPN would be the equivalent of breathing through a straw. So some of you may feel, that hits home a little bit. Having to have that direct connection when you can have a shared online folder, it just seems that shared online folder is the way to go. Allowing multiple users to collaborate on physical servers, most of the time it involves manual file sharing. If you don't have to do manual file sharing, that goes down to the next point, which if you're on a physical server, if you have that collaborative, ability, it probably required additional setup, which meant more for your IT support or more time out of your day to do that. Whereas shared online folders automatically back up and does so often. Physical servers may require you to set some type of parameter in place. Shared online folders do allow for the ease of scaling your business based on needs. So if you need a little bit more space, it's done almost instantly. If you're trying to do that on a physical server, oftentimes it requires purchasing more storage, more equipment, uh, enhancing or enlarging your server room. You don't have a server room with shared online folders. It's all done through the cloud. And then shared online folders, or shared online, yeah, folders do providers anyways, they invest heavily in security measures, including encryption, whereas a physical server relies on your implementation of security. You have a lock on that door and that's it, or is it, what do you have in place to secure those servers? So, as your practice grows, this one again is a really tough conversation to have because having the need to be effective in HR and management, suddenly payroll, benefits, employee management are an absolute necessity. So scaling up from a solo practice to managing a team comes with challenges, and embracing HR solutions is key to fostering a positive workplace culture and also keeping peace of mind with you, being able to manage those. One that we just recently changed to was Bamboo HR. So human resources is often underestimated, but it's absolutely critical aspect of scaling up. In the landscape architecture industry, as your practice grows, managing people effectively becomes paramount. So Bamboo HR was something that we chose at LandFX strictly for payroll. We were wanting to, again, sometimes solutions don't work for everybody. Having all of our eggs in one basket with QuickBooks wasn't quite where we needed to be, so we did move over and merge our information into Bamboo HR. And as we've gone on, Bamboo HR has actually become absolutely key to all of our human resources here with so many more tools, which I'll get into in a minute. But first, I want to do a quick honorable mention to Fiverr. When it comes to scaling your business, sometimes you might find that growth is very project specific. So hiring a full-time or even a part-time employee may not be in the forecast because after that project's done, you might not have work for them. So then you're struggling to find work for them or having to do the unfortunate, which is just letting them, move on. So you can move on, but having something like Fiverr is great to find. It's just a great place to find freelancers that may fit your needs. So I recently, well, not recently, but a couple years ago, started a small business and I found myself needing literally everything from creating a logo and brand to creating a 30-second radio spot with really limited resources. I visited Fiverr and I was actually able to find and create a brand and then the company from the ground up utilizing freelancers at minimum cost. But you can search through there and there are thousands of freelancers ready to provide their services. So again, as we reassessed our business needs here at LandFX, we did find that transitioning from QuickBooks Payroll to a new system was necessary. So we acquired Bamboo HR again just for payroll. And as our executive team, Jeremiah, Crystal, and management began implementing Bamboo HR, we actually found that it helped with all aspects of HR, human resources stuff, efficiently onboarding employees. So a candidate can submit a resume. As they go through the process, our team is able to keep notes every step of the way. Once that candidate is hired, with a simple click of a button, that candidate becomes an employee in the system. And the best part about it, again, giving time back to you so you can focus on higher level things like scalability and scaling your business. The employee does most of the legwork completing their important information. Once an employee, HR can track and manage each employee's career, like here at LandFX with performance reviews, self-assessments, manager assessments, and training records in more of just a centralized and organized manner. And then direct reports can easily be designated and changed as you grow. For example, I recently went through a direct report change, and it was something that our human resources person, Sarah, was able to do with ease. Um, Managing time and attendance. So if you have hourly employees, it's easy for both the payroll administrator and the employees. Gone are the days of using an Excel spreadsheet to manage time and then go and write the check. Everything's all integrated here. Once you approve it, that goes into the payroll system for pay. And then, as mentioned before, performance is just easily to manage and track. This can easily be utilized to encourage professional growth and align individual goals with the overall objective of your business. Benefits administration, if you offer benefits with Bamboo HR's integrated system, it is super easy to manage employee benefits, track enrollment, ensure that your team is well taken care of as your business expands. And then employee self-service portal, which will empower your team to access their records, request time off, and update personal information, just drastically reducing the time that is spent in administrative overhead. And then one of our favorite parts is compliance and reporting because we are now nationwide. Essentially, we have folks in multiple states. Being able to have that compliance and reporting is absolutely vital. Managing laws and regulations for each state, and then legal postings is easily uploaded into the employee portal for each employee to review and have access to 24/7. And then our executive team can manage and generate insightful reports on key HR metrics, which help in aiding and um, working on a strategic decision making for the growth of the business. And again, scalability is one of our little themes for today. Making sure that you can scale by leveraging Bamboo HR, you not only automate and streamline HR processes, but it also creates a foundation for positive workplace culture and allows you to scale your solo practice to a small business and then also move on from small to medium to large. It just really becomes your strategic partner in managing the most valuable asset, which is your people. If I can get this slide to go on. Sorry about that. So digital visibility, this is kind of where we're just going to bring it home a little bit. Social media and online marketing. I know what we hear in business, we hear about Facebook and Instagram, and it's like, you want to grow your business, you have to have these. I'm not going to talk about any of those today. I'm actually going to talk about more specifically, if you're using those platforms to grow your business, what other tools are there to help minimize the amount of time spent going into each one of those each one of those platforms to post? What if there's just one easy way to do all that? So Loomly is something that we use here. Our sales and marketing manager, Panda, uses Loomly on a daily basis. It's a really cool, versatile social media management tool that not only enhances your online presence, but also saves you valuable time in the process. Loomly provides a centralized platform for planning and scheduling your social media content, which is really cool. It streamlines content creation by helping to maintain a consistent posting schedule, which I'll show you here in just a second what that looks like. And it helps across multiple platforms without needing to juggle through each app, like I mentioned earlier. You can easily schedule posts in advance, which helps to spend less time on daily posting. And then though we don't utilize this feature, it does allow for scaling your business. So if you're looking to have your whole team, or all your team members as part of your social media marketing team, members can upload potential posts, which would then go to whoever set as the administrator for approval. And then what's really cool is that Loomly does track audience engagement with your content so that you can analyze the performance of each post, identify trends, and optimize your social media strategy based on real-time insights. And then most importantly, it's about your brand. So branding is absolutely important. Loomly's brand asset library does help maintain that brand consistency, ensuring that all your visual elements, messaging, and then your tone all align with your brand. Here you can see one view of what the post looks like. So this is for November of 2023. These were posts that we sent out. As you can see, it tells you what type of post it was. We called it an event post, what day it was scheduled to go out. There was a link for it, and then what channels it went out to, and then your ad copy. So what's being said in that. And then again, these are all assigned to Panda. But if you have a marketing team, or as you grow and you want everybody to kind of be part of that marketing, you can assign things to certain people, and then it'll tell you whether it's been published or it is scheduled. And then here's another view. This is the calendar view. Again, just another way to look at how you have things scheduled, going with what is recommended for social media posts. So a few key takeaways from today. Intelligent use of tools such as CRM, financial, HR chat, Google Drive, really anything that we talked about today, just can really enable a single manager to handle 10 employees. Again, just easily saving time that would normally take 2 to 3 plus administrative assistants to do. The savings alone in hiring an administrative assistant will pay for basically all of the tools that we talked about today and any combination of them. Cloud-based software is the absolute best, most efficient tool in regard to security, scalability, and ensuring a smooth future growth trajectory. Cloud-based, I know it can be really daunting to go cloud. Most of these tools are really big on security and managing the information that you have and keeping it safe. Cloud-based just works if you're trying to grow, whether you're trying to grow in office or you're trying to grow remotely. Cloud-based is the way to go, and that's how we do things here at LandFX. And then there are so many apps. Again, I know I've said that a few times today, but there's so many apps out there and many more to come. The tech software industry is continuously growing. So when you're making a decision to implement a new app or software, take a step back, do your research on it. It may look super cool and hit because it's new. That's their marketing. Just make sure that you know what are you hoping to gain from it? What cost will it reduce? And then how will it benefit your company? Just because it benefits us here at LandFX doesn't mean it's going to be the best solution for you at your office. Or just because it works for you doesn't mean it may work for us. So we would like for you to go to kind of the same path that we did. We started off with a father-son team out of a garage. Jeremiah Farmer created the company, and this is where we are at today. You can see we have a whole team of folks with us, and as we have scaled, we have had to go through these growing pains of scaling, and that is why we bring this presentation to you today. If you have any questions, I'd love to go into a Q&A. Again, if you need anything, my name is JR. I am on the manufacturer success team. We have Jeremiah Farmer on the line. He is our CEO and developer. And there are multiple ways to reach out to us. You can reach out to us at sales@landfx.com, support@landfx.com, or you can reach my team here at mfr@landfx.com. And there is our number. So it
That'd
looks
be
like,
great.
yeah,
Yeah, we got plenty of time for some good questions and feedback. Jeff chimed in, and he was saying very interesting is that in terms of contracts, ASLA does offer some agreements that are specifically geared for landscape architecture.
yeah,
That
that's
is,
great.
yeah, that's always good. Exactly. Anything turnkey, and of course, we did, as you might imagine, we definitely made a purposeful decision with this webinar to not go really into AI that much. It's obviously the big buzzword of the day, um, but we just didn't want to be like everybody else and just add AI to it because it really is not at that maturity level yet. But there are a couple points that it's definitely looming, and a great example of that is, for instance, for um, our videos. We have our narration on our power tip videos. We were experimenting with using Fiverr to have these sort of consistent, very professional voiceovers for some of the power tip videos, and it was very interesting. It's extremely affordable, and the turnaround time was insane. I mean, we're talking like within a 1 hour turnaround time, getting a professional voiceover narration for these power tip scripts, and that was really interesting. And we were exploring with that and debating, how much we wanted to utilize that for all power tip videos. And anyway, more recently now, we have been using AI to do the narration for the training videos. I don't know if anyone happened to have noticed, but all of our trainer videos, which you can find if you type Land Effects at the command line, that'll activate the trainer, or if you click on the trainer from the help menu, all those trainer videos, those voiceovers are all AI, and it has dramatically speeded the time for us to create those videos. And so because we wanted to create literally hundreds of these trainer videos, and that narration and video editing was way too huge of a time constraint. So just a very wonderful, very limited example of how the AI is coming into play. And so it just plays off of what Jeff was commenting on with contracts. AI is absolutely going to be very helpful with things like, generate a scope of services for blah 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 blah, and it's very very helpful with that. You still of course want to be sure to proofread it and double check it, but we're very close to having some AI legal document services that don't make the sort of mistakes that are getting thrown about on social media these days, but it's very close to actually being really really useful. So that's always a good one to look out for. And like when JR quoted me, it's all about doing that. Is there a cool new service, or is something out there that can help and help streamline something I do? Look around. A classic one I've done the entire history of this company and even before is, what are you doing in Microsoft Excel? And a lot of people are using Microsoft Excel for things that they shouldn't be. It's at least better than on paper, but timesheets and estimates and things like that, it's better to use an actual system that's set for that. And then another one, Jeff also chimed in saying that cloud-based is a problem. And I have a very, very good comment for that. We get that a lot from people. Usually it's in the hurricane zones, of Florida and the Southeast, saying, oh, we can't use cloud data because of hurricanes, and it knocks out the internet for 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay, so let's do this. Let's actually do this cost comparison. Okay. If you're going to have no ability to use any cloud services, so all of these things, payroll, right, HR, project management, you're gonna have to have a local server, all of these things. What is the total cost of all of that? And you still have to back it up, and you have to especially back it up to be safe from ransomware. We hear from users getting hit by ransomware about once a week. So it can happen to even a small firm. So you have to have a robust architecture, a huge backup system in place. You have to administer all that. What's the cost of all of that? We're talking thousands, right? absolutely thousands of dollars. A Starlink antenna is about $450. And then and you can have it not be turned on all the time. It's $130 for a month if you need that satellite internet. It is a fantastic backup for internet. So it is absolutely, if you are concerned about your internet connectivity, Starlink is available today, and you should 100% be looking into that. For a simple $450 investment, that's, you're out the door, $450, you're ready. So if the internet goes down, you just simply in the app on your phone, you activate it for a month for $130, boom, your internet's back up and running for an entire month. Is $450 plus the $130, is that less than the thousands of dollars to keep everything offline? And I hope it was kind of obvious what the answer to that question is. Um, and then, dude, did you have any last questions you were going to answer, JR?
No, so I answered them in there. The cloud one is, I mean, that's a really common hesitation. I mean, we see that on, in support tickets here when if a cloud goes down, which is why we, you know, basically push it off to multiple servers so that if something goes down, we have backups. But Jeff is saying that Starlink is upgrading their antennas. They just announced today, which is yeah, we what's really cool, Jeff, I don't remember where you are. I know we've talked in the past. I don't remember quite where you are, but we just watched a rocket launch here. I mean, I think there were two rocket launches back to back, right, Jared? One here and one at Cape Canaveral. That pushed out more Starlink. So they have some really super cool antennas, multiple options.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's not even. I mean, the network is not even completely fleshed out.
no,
So it's only going to get better. Yeah, if you attended our hardware recommendations, we did mention it there as well. Bennett here, he has it as his primary internet. I have it for my backup slash my RV, and it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and it 100% just squashes the argument of, oh, I can't use cloud-based services because the internet occasionally goes down. It is go ahead and write down those costs. How much are you going to spend to be safe from ransomware? How much does that cost? I guarantee you that one single line item is going to be more than the $600 necessary for Starlink.
yeah. Well, and for me, I find that I really base a lot of my decisions on, is it easy to implement when I need it? And like you just said, I mean, being able to just jump on your phone and activate that service, there's no stress. Like I don't have to go in and sit on the phone with somebody in customer support. Everything is just all right there on at your fingertips. I press activate, put in my credit card, or may already have it in there, and then golden. I'm back online again. It took me all of 3 minutes to do, whereas other solutions, I've got to sit there and contact whoever it might be, Roadrunner, Charter, Spectrum, Comcast, whoever it might be, and hope and pray that that there's not a 3 hour line because everybody else is doing the exact same thing. Being able to just
Mhm.
go in there and do it at my fingertips was what makes a decision for me.
Yeah, I mean, it happened to me here. Literally, the God, what was it? It was earlier this week. It was Monday or Tuesday. Um, my Spectrum for my internet here, and it dropped out. All of a sudden my internet dropped out. It happens. It absolutely happens. And to say, oh shoot, the whole office is down now. That's how it used to be back in the day. Like we would just be down, if the internet drops out. And there is a solution for it now. So I just highly recommend that. But it's just also using that as an example. You have to be aware of these, new things that come out, and occasionally assess them. But like I said, start. The way I look at it is kind of start at the bottom. Start at, like, look at these tedious activities or incorrect software or paper solutions that you're using, and then look for a solution for that. So yeah, if you are using Excel for something, look for a solution for exactly that, and then kind of go from there. But anyway, I think, what do you think, GR? I think it's about time to call it. I
Yeah,
hope everyone liked this. It's of course always fun to look at like, oh, Disneyland Shanghai was built with land effects, or these massive communities in Egypt that EDSA put together using our software. But well over 60% of our users are sole practitioners. And that's the office that I grew up in, and I intimately know that struggle. And that's why it was so much fun putting this webinar together with JR. JR did all the heavy lifting. I gave him 2 quotes, but um, really do appreciate that struggle, and really hope that some of this helps, because it absolutely has helped us. And the beauty is that ability to that it scales, and seeing that scale as the company continues to grow is the real prize at the end of the tunnel. So that being said, everyone, have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next time.